I'd just like to acknowledge the guests that are here today. I'd firstly also like to acknowledge the fact that we meet on Noongar country, and I want to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet. I guess for myself, as somebody who has come to Australia and living in another person's land, it's quite significant for me because the connection to my land is something that's quite personal, having been displaced due to war. I want to acknowledge our newly published author, Tinashe, and everyone who's here this afternoon. I don't take this invitation lightly. It means a lot to have been asked to say a few words. I guess because I'm a trainer, I tend to go on for quite some time, so I am going to keep it quite short. I'd also just like to mention that I stand here today wearing several hats. Firstly, and most importantly, as a new friend of Tinashe, I've had the pleasure of crossing paths with her a number of times. Most recently, she went all the way to Albany to do training in domestic violence that I was facilitating. So it was a pleasure to have her attend, but also share her perspective, which was deeply enriching, is conceptualizing domestic and family violence in the frame of collectivist cultures. So we know, I think pretty much everyone here, well, when we talk about collectivist cultures, anyone who's basically of a non-white Western background sort of fits that criteria. So I think we can all appreciate that coming from different cultural backgrounds, when domestic and family violence does take place, there are additional barriers that women and families face simply because of the situations that they live in. The challenges with families, the extended families, even the very definition of family is quite different across different cultures. So that's sort of my area of interest. I'm not going to spoil the book for you if you haven't already bought your copy. I've read probably about 2/4 of the book and still going through it, so I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I do encourage you to get a copy today, get a signed copy, get a photograph with the author. It's not every day you go to a book launch and actually meet, because you get so many books, but it's not every day you meet the authors of the books that you read, so it's a great opportunity. Do take advantage of it. I'd also just like to also highlight that without sort of giving away, and really I couldn't even do justice even if I tried to tell you what was in the book, you really have to get a copy for yourself and walk through the journey alongside the narrative that Tinashe is presenting through the book. And I think what the book does really well that I've read so far is that it merges when we talk about the challenges of family, of culture, the book weaves it into a story, and it shows how family domestic violence is made so much more complex when those intersections of culture and family and migration and other challenges that Tinashe has experienced are highlighted through the book. But what I also know is that even though it's the personal experience of Tinashe, it is sadly not her story alone. It's the story of many women around the world. We know from research that across the globe, 1 out of 3 women experience gender-based violence, and that's usually at the hands of the men in their lives. It's also the story of 1 in 3 Australian women who at some point in their lifetime, from about the age of 15, will experience physical violence. It is sadly also the story of 2 Australian women who every week are murdered as a result of family domestic violence. Now that's a fact that sadly is not common knowledge, and most people are shocked when you say that in Australia 2 women a week lose their lives and murdered as a result of family domestic violence. But that is the reality of what we're talking about today. So Tinashe, you have walked the journey, and I'd like to acknowledge the courage and the fortitude and the tenacity it's taken for you to walk through this journey, to survive, but also to come out the other end and say, you know what, I'm going to take this personal experience and I'm going to put it out there into the world in the hope that it will empower other people. So I believe strongly that your book will empower many people, whether it's people that have been subjected to violence or people that perhaps have been blessed with a life where they've not experienced violence, or whether it's people that are going through it at this present moment. You will never know the impact of the book. You will never truly understand the impact of that it will have on people's lives there will be somebody who says, you know what, if Tinashe can do it, she can survive and write a book, then perhaps I also have the courage and I can walk out of this and find a better life. But you'll never know those stories. There will be as many as there could be, but you'll never hear of them. And I think sometimes that is the beauty, because in life we always want to know things. But I just want to encourage you to say congratulations, and the fact that you've published this book and have really put yourself out there is going to empower so many people, and so many lives will be positively impacted by it in ways that you'll never truly comprehend. So thank you for the opportunity. I am going to stop here and leave an opportunity for my guest speakers. But enjoy the day and get your copy as well. Thank you.